Good morning, listeners, and welcome back to the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show with Ron Couming of RCS Technology Solutions and RCS Online Solutions, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs achieve even greater success by attracting, converting, and retaining their ideal customers and clients using various Internet marketing techniques and methods. The purpose of this show is we break it up into 2 or 3 segments if time allows. The first 2 segments, we bring on subject matter experts from around the world who can talk about what they've done and what they do. And in doing this, you can learn some of the trials and tribulations that they have gone through and how they overcame them, and which will hopefully help you avoid the same pitfalls of being an entrepreneur and a business owner. Also, feel free to reach out to any one of these guests. They're all subject matter experts, or they wouldn't be on the show. And so our first guest is Dom Faucett. Dom Fawcett has literally been to hell and back. Dom is a military veteran and prior police officer with 10-plus years of corporate leadership experience. Dom is the CEO of ThinkReactLead. And ThinkReactLead is a company dedicated to pushing people past their limiting beliefs by bridging the gap between their mind and heart for increased success. Dom, how are you today?
Outstanding. How are you doing this morning, sir?
Excellent, excellent. And if I'm correct, you're calling in from sunny California?
I am in sunny Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, you're in Phoenix. Okay.
Yes.
Still sunny, right?
Oh, very sunny. Yes, it is.
Yep. Excellent, because we're up here in Boston. The show's recorded in Boston. We have
Great.
Approximately 1.5 million listeners locally, plus on the Internet and over social media shares and stuff, probably significantly more. So there may be some local people in Arizona listening.
Outstanding.
Excellent. Dom, I've listened to you speak at Manny's event, and he's actually our next guest, our second guest today, and I've done some research on you. I've known you for a while now, and I think you're an absolute rock star, and what you have to offer is tremendous. However, that little bit of a bio and introduction I gave certainly does not do it justice. So could you please tell the listeners a little bit more about yourself, who you are, how you got to be here and what you do and how you help business owners and entrepreneurs?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for the kind words as well. Again, my name is Dom Faucett, and yes, I'm a veteran. I was K-9 in the Air Force, and I'm an ex-cop and 10-plus years in the corporate sector and leadership. And as of July of last year, I stepped out and my own business, which is ThinkReactLead, as it relates to coaching and speaking, traveling and speaking. So what I've learned over those, I'd say, 3 different lives, right, is that everybody wants a leader, and more oftentimes than not, people have the right mindset to lead. It's just they lack effectiveness. Whether you're in the military, whether you're in law enforcement on the streets as a first responder, or you're in the corporate world, and that lack of effectiveness stems from what we all call life. Many times we don't know how to bridge the gap between our mind and our heart to become the best version of self. And I'm a firm believer that if you can't lead your household, whether you live by yourself or you have a large family, if you can't lead from behind the doorknob, it's almost impossible to effectively lead once you step outside of the house. So here at ThinkReactLead, is think as an executive, react like a soldier, and lead. And what we do is we really work with executives and seasoned entrepreneurs, and seasoned from a standpoint of typically 5+ years, people that have hit a wall. And in my experience in doing this, the only reason why people hit a wall is just because the actions that they're taking are typically old. They're doing the same thing they did 10 years ago, trying to get results that they got 10 years ago, and your industry has changed. Your mindset has changed. Your engagement has changed. Your your heart in what it is that you do has changed. So there's no way in the world one can try to get the results. And it's not really the results that they're looking for. They're looking for the feeling that they got from the results that they got from putting in all the hard work, say 5 to 10 years ago. And that feeling is never going to come because you've done it already. And there's a 7-step process that we use to help people get specific results for their business, I am not a relationship coach, but a lot of times a relationship, good or bad, has something to do with one's lack of results at work and in their business. And another thing I've found is that as we get older, we forget to have fun. And I found myself in that realm. I just taking life so serious, waking up, chasing the dollar every single day of my life to include weekends, that life goes by and you have nothing to show for it, or nothing of meaning to show for it. So you probably know this. I just turned 40 over the weekend, and I am all about having fun, whether it's getting on the track with my Ducatis with my wife, or going skateboarding or longboarding or snowboarding or wakeboarding. Obviously, I like boards, but just getting out there and having fun. And I think a lot of times we just forget to do that, and we don't value our existence simply because we're using the wrong measurements to dictate what our value is. We're using other people's measurement of ourselves as opposed to self.
Wow, I love it. And first, I want to say thank you for your service in armed services, and then also as a police officer. Both, one or the other, but both are. All first responders are true heroes. So thank you very much for your dedication. So right off the bat, you've been about helping people and protecting people, sometimes from themselves.
Pretty much.
Yep, and I love how you talked about what got you, basically how people are trying to recreate whatever their success was, and whatever got somebody to $100,000 a year, we'll just say that is a touchstone. So whatever got them to $100,000, those same things probably are not going to get them to $500,000 or $1 million. The same habits and the same practices, because those were $100,000, and this is rough. It could be 150, 100, it could be 200, whatever it is. Whatever the mindset and the habits and the things they did to get them to that point are not going to elevate them to the next level up. So if you're trying to level up, you do need to learn different things. And I always tell people, Anthony Hopkins, as great as he is as an actor, he had 7 coaches. I would mention Tom Brady is a famous football player, but we just lost. So, but even if you look at people like Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, all these people had coaches and mentors. So, I think one of the things the listeners can really take away from this is, invest in yourself. Get a mentor, get a coach, somebody who's already been there, done that, so they can help you level up. And instead of taking 3 to 6 years, you might be able to do it in 6 months.
And I think people, and this is what I've seen, people will tend to get coaches that they're comfortable with. They'll find a coach that looks like them, that acts like them, has some of the same hobbies as them. I tell people all the time, if you find a coach that looks like you and acts like you, more oftentimes than not, they have the same life experiences as you. Well, you don't need to be coached by somebody who has the same life experiences. Granted, they may be a little bit more successful than you, but their life experiences are very common to yours, and it's not going to be anything new. Whereas if you take somebody who doesn't have, like if you're a male and you have a female coach, right, you get a different perspective on how you're going to attain your results. If you're a civilian and you get a veteran coach, you're going to get a different perspective on life. Or if you're enlisted and you get an officer coach, and the list goes on. I'm all about diversifying relationships or associations. We're very quick to diversify our financial portfolio, but as it relates to ourselves, we don't diversify our relationships. I mean, just look at the people most people invite into their home. They typically look like them, same income level as them, same religious background as them, same political affiliation as them, and their lives are pretty vanilla. I have found value. Granted, I was in the military, but traveling the world and meeting people of different or various faiths and different global beliefs, I've brought that into my business. I bring that into my personal lives. I disagree probably with most of my very, very close associations, but that disagreeing conversation promotes growth mentally, emotionally. It's helped me to understand why certain people, whether it be gender specific, sexual orientation specific, race or ethnic background, religion specific, it helps me to understand why and how they operate the way that they do. And that's helped me grow just as an individual, because it's helped me not to judge my actions based off my past, but create results based off what I've learned from the past of other people.
I love it. And I just saw a post, somebody that I'm friendly with, and she's from like Australia, but I met her at several events. I like you speak at events across the country. I speak at events on internet marketing and growing your business using the internet too. So I've met her at several events, and we became friends. And one post I really liked that she just put out over the weekend was something, it mirrors exactly what you say. You know, when you hire me to be your coach, you know, that doesn't mean we're going to go out to dinner and hang out. It doesn't mean you're going to come over to my house and we're going to be besties and watch TV. You're hiring me to be your coach. I mean, we may evolve into friends later, but if I'm your friend, you know, I can't really be your coach because I can't, you know, hold you accountable. And I've had conversations with other people, too, that if they surround themselves, just like you said, with other like-minded people, whether it's, you know, political, whatever the affiliation is, you know, they're never going to get an opposite view, so they're never going to grow from having something different, a different viewpoint, and they're going to think that, you know, erroneously that whatever they think is accurate because the 10 people they surround themselves with just keep reaffirming it, and then they get steadfast, and then they have blocks, and it prevents them from growing. So I love what you're saying, man.
Thank you.
Now, let me ask you another question. If, let's say we had 3 examples of people, and I know you started off at 5 years is probably your target audience, but for the benefits of the listeners, and we have probably another 11 minutes or so, and I definitely want to get your contact info, and if you have a free PDF or an e-book or something you want to give away, feel free to do that too. And I want to let the listeners know before I ask these 3 questions that this episode and all episodes are archived. So if you're driving or if you're at work and you can't write something down, you heard a gem. Dom's given us some serious gems here. You can go back to the radio station, WCAP 980 AM's website, and look in the archives. This episode will be up there in a couple of days, as well as my website, RCS Technology Solutions.com. Just go to media and then hit the drop-down menu, and you'll see radio stations. So you can listen to this episode and all the other episodes going back. But, Dom, now let's say we have somebody who is, maybe they're an employee. Some of our listeners are just in the process of getting out from being a W-2. They're just starting as an entrepreneur. Maybe they've been an entrepreneur for 6 months, but so let's start with somebody who's just started being an entrepreneur or is about to, and that would be, you know, Group 1. Group 2 would be somebody who's been an entrepreneur and now he's a business owner for 3 years, 3 to 4 years. They've gotten some level of success, but now they want to climb. And then let's go with somebody who's 5 or 6 years as an entrepreneur, and now they also want to level up. Can you give us like 1 or 2 tips, or 3 if we have time, for each level? And it's possible that one tip could apply to everybody.
I would say if you're just starting out, you need to figure out what your darkest secrets of self are, what your darkest past is, what it is that you haven't dealt with from maybe your childhood or past relationships, that you haven't dealt with. Because if you don't do that when you're just starting out, it's going to rear its ugly head down the road, and it's going to come up at an inopportune time. You also need to find out what it is that you're horrible at. Like I don't do spreadsheets. I don't do email management. That's not my thing. So I knew that prior to coming in or jumping out into my own world. So I have somebody to help me out with that. You also need to dial in what it is that you are awesome at. Like, what is that one thing that you do that most people can't touch you on? And once you know what that is, develop that with a fervor that just makes you a beast. Because that's going to be the thing that you end up most passionate about. That's going to be the thing that drives your business, drives your results. Yes, I coach. Yes, I have online programs. But the one thing I'm great at that I know for a fact is public speaking. I know that when I take a stage that nobody can touch me. Like, I know this. So that's where I hone my skill set on. You brought up the football analogy. A quarterback doesn't work on kicking. Can he kick? Probably. Anybody who touched the ball can kick one, but he focuses and trains vehemently on getting that ball down the field and hitting its target. If you've been an entrepreneur and you're 3 to 4 years into the space, one thing I have found is doing videos on social media, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, Instagram Live, Facebook Live, pre-recorded videos. I have found that with me doing videos or YouTube, it allows my mind to stay relevant with what it is that I focus on. So what it is that I'm teaching. So for me, it's leadership, intrapreneurship, or entrepreneurship, whatever it is. It allows me to keep my content fresh. But in order for me to keep my content fresh, I got to study. Right, so I can't get new results with old information. And what a lot of entrepreneurs, especially in the tech space, you don't see them doing videos, but if you get an opportunity to speak on stage, that audience, and then if you get it recorded, so any other audience seeing it, is going to see you as a subject matter expert. You don't have to be the best in your field for 5,000 other people to view you as a subject matter expert. So, to me, speaking, and I'm biased with this, but speaking is an old trait. It'll always be around. There will always be people in your industry speaking, so why can't it be you? There's always conferences, events, and they're live, and you're going to be on stage. So if you have the opportunity to get on stage and speak, don't shy away from it. Don't hide behind the computer, hide behind the internet. Get on stage, share your message, and share your product. And I would say from the 5 to 6 year mark, do the same thing. Speaking.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, absolutely. And just to follow up with what you said, I don't know if you remember how we actually met, but I heard you speak. It was somebody had done a live at a friend of mine, Manny. I was supposed to go there. I just couldn't make it. And I was supposed to speak there as well. But when I heard you speak, and it was on someone else's live, I put down, damn, I need to meet this man. That's what I wrote.
Yeah.
Yep. I said, damn, I need to meet this man. And I speak around the country. I mean, I've been around quite a few of very good speakers. But, what you were saying and how you came across was like exceptionally. And I literally wrote, damn, I need to meet this man. And so that was huge. So I agree with you. And it's also a great way to, be the audience. A lot of times we go to networking events or we go to expos or seminars, and we sit in the audience and we might talk to 3 to 5 people. But, the person who's in front of that room, they're presenting to 200, 300, 400, 500 people. I just went to a Ty Lopez event, and they said there was 800 people there. I can guarantee you there was over 600 there, right? I don't know. I didn't do a head count, but I just did a row count, and it was well over 600. I stopped counting.
Wow.
But so now he was speaking to that many, plus however many was doing lives or tape recorded it or whatever, right? So I agree with you. If somebody can get in front of a room of people, not only is it going to elevate you, edify you in the eyes of the audience, but it also, now you're talking to, let's say it's just 100 people and you have a close rate of 5, so you get 5%. So now you get 5 clients. If your average course is, $6,000 a year, that was $30,000 you just made in a 20 to 30-minute presentation. So, that's excellent stuff. We're down to like 4 minutes. Now, if somebody wanted to go that route, do you have like a step that they could maybe take to freshen up? Because a lot of people might be scared of public speaking, and we've got to get your contact info too.
The simplest way to do it is to join a Toastmasters group. And if you haven't heard of Toastmasters, just Google it. It's a public speaking group, and typically they meet once a week, and they will help you build your skill set. And it's a very vanilla way to get into the realm. You start off speaking in front of 1 or 2 people, just people that you actually know. So that's how you start, because so many people are afraid of speaking, and I get that. But speaking, as more people don't do it, you'll have less competition. So just find a stage and get on it.
I love it. I don't know if you know this or not, but I've been in Toastmasters for many years. I'm a DTM, which is a Distinguished Toastmaster.
Right.
I was also a webmaster, and I was their PRO a couple of years ago. I was their public relations officer, and then I was also their webmaster, taking care of all their websites and stuff. But, yeah, I'm a big fan of Toastmasters.
Yes, as am I.
Yep, excellent. All right, so we're down to like 3 to 4 minutes. We need your contact info and then any closing thoughts, or if you have a free PDF or something you want to give away to people, that's fine too. If you don't, they can just contact you, and hopefully you guys can. I definitely, Dom's on the show. He's not on, I don't bring just anybody on. I can simply just have them run a rerun, so it's not like I just fill space here. He's definitely somebody you should contact with, so. Go on, Tom.
I can be found on at my website, ThinkReactLead.com. As far as free content, I do videos daily, so that's where my free content is, and that's on YouTube, which is ThinkReactLead on YouTube. Instagram is Dom Faussette, and my other Instagram page is ThinkReactLead, and of course Facebook. Facebook is Dom Faussette. So, like I said, I do videos daily. At least I'll do about 5 to 6 a week. I may have a day that I don't do them. That's because I'm hanging out with my wife. As far as closing words, what I have found that has helped my business grow just on levels that I never would have thought. I have found that building a relationship with my wife has given me, like, I'm naturally a confident person, but this gave me a level of confidence that I never thought I would have, and insight on the lives of others that I never thought I would have. And I firmly believe that the heart, if it's doing well, right, from an emotional standpoint, and you're pleased with what it's pumping out, it increases your thought process. It allows you to think in ways that you couldn't do on your own if you weren't in a place of being able to love yourself first and then love someone else or enjoy a life with someone else. And I'm not saying that it doesn't have to be intimate, but, diving deep into the relationships of your friends, diving deep into the relationships of your family. I just spent 7 days in St. Thomas with my immediate family. There's about 17 of us, and none of us argued. And your interpersonal relationships, if they are not rectified, whether it's a relationship with your dad, your mom, your grandparents, your uncle, your brothers and sisters, a lot of brothers and sisters don't get along. Make peace with that. And I guarantee you, if you can make peace with an ought that you might have with a blood relative and dive in on the relationship that you have with your kids, grow that, the relationship you have with your spouse, your business just thrives. And what I have found is the reason why it thrives is because you feel supported. And at the end of the day, whether you're an animal or a human, we all want to be validated. We all want to feel good. I was canine, so we all want that feeling of when you rub your dog behind the ears and your dog gets all happy and they wag their tail. Like, as a human, we all want that. So if you can cultivate those relationships that may have gone awry over time and just reach out, make peace with it, your business, you'll grow as a human being, and your business will reap the benefits of it.
I love it. I often tell my clients that too, to reach out, research, and relationship build, because people really want to do business and associate with people they know, like, and trust. Dom, I want to thank you very much, and again, I want to thank you for being a first responder on multiple levels. And the listeners, I want to let you know that Dom is spelled D-O-M, not D-O-N. It's D-O-M. His last name is Faussette, and his company's name is ThinkReactLead, both on YouTube, Facebook. You can find him everywhere. Please check him out. You've been listening to the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show with Ron Couming of RCS Technology Solutions, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs attract, convert, and retain their ideal customers and clients by using various Internet marketing techniques and methods to achieve even greater success.